He shook be a shaped of himselves, hiding that shape in his goat, and for a shambling so be a fells, the mighty Prince of Roger Thut Hood. Hey hoes, our kingdom for an horse. Bruno Lano's woolies on Branny Lonnie's hairy parts, and the hunk in his trunk, it would be an insult foul the matter of that cellaring to a pig's trough. Stop his lays ends, ink him, you would think him owl Dublin staking his lord sure like a good on punchin'. Their blinity divined, whole hunting the park on a methodological mission whenever there's umbrellas, and calling Raina Rona Reinets Ronin, to what mine answer is a layman's. Ardleys, beadles, and post-billers heard him. 3 points to 1, Ericus Vericus, corrupted into were-eggs. Dummy up distillery, brewery a boo, run him a John's Gate down James Lane, begetting a wife which became his niece by pouring her young things into skin ties. That was when he had dizzy spells till Gladstool's pill-hools made him ride as the mall, thanks to his Wiedebrass beard. Lodenbrook the longman now he conceals under various persons, but is always that rock really. On consideration for the musicers he ought to have downed it. Pass out your cheeks, why don't you? Penalty please, there you'll know. How water barred the bullhead that passed our alley. We just are upside down singing whatever the Dimkins murmur. A lullaby she pulls in her out heads. This is not the end of this by no manner means. When you've bled till your bone it crops out in your flesh, to tell how your mead of mard is made of old Dodgerson's Dodgers one's conning out, one's copying, and that's what's Wonderland's wonder lad. Will flaunt to the fair a trans-doned boy script with titty-vits by. Ahem. You'll read it tomorrow, man, when the curd's on the table, a nig for a nog and a threat for a throat, the auditor learns. Still pumping on, talking white rad lumps lengths. In pre-plays to anomays, left hinted palinode obviously, in spite webbed by a suspicious connection. Note the notes of admiration, see the signs of suspicion, count the hemi-semi-demicolons, screamer caps and invented comas. Quoits punt lost, forced to fast, the pipette will say anything at all for a change, and you know what a glove means in the murderous dueluct. Feud to feud and rampant colloticism, a feud for the gleamant and save sit and sew, and the pants outisinned. On the Doherty's duckboard pointing to peace at home, in some law and order on law and order. Wait till we hear the boy of Biscop reeling around your postal elector, epistle made the mology for deep dwarfy doubtings. As we'll lay till break of day in bunk of Basky, oh, our Ireland, Rome and duty, well-tried buck stiff batted boot. Sell 'em a breech contact, the vendor the by-lawyer. One hide sack hick, 2 stick host lucky, finish make goal. First you a nomad, next you a namer, now you're Numa, and it soon will be no man. Hensels ecclesiast, there's every resumption the foreign offals is on the shove, to lay your dossier. Darby's in the yard, planning it on you, blotted edgings. The whispering peeler after Cook's wearing an ill formation. The find of this kind, an artist, sir, and dirt cheaper to sovereign a skull. He knows his Finsbury follies backwoods, so you better say to your regent refutation, a scare wind is rifing again. About nice boys going native, you know who was wrote about in the Orange Book of Eschapel? Basil and the 2 other men from King's Avenance. Just press this cold brand against your brow for a mow, Kindfully the sinus, the curse, that's it. Hung chung eggly fella, now speaky tell, numpty wumpty topsawyers belong a him pigeon. Secret things other persons place there covered not. How you fell from story to story like a sagazan to lie, entful mung infirmity on the because, alleging to have a finger of footing in pudding and pie. And here's the witness glue unto him greavy, bottom anchor, nudies, and kick killy kick for the house that Duke built. Wait till they send you to sleep, cowboy, by jurors' crooches. Then old Hunphy Dunfieldville will be blasted to bumboards by the useful herald, who would once you were, he'd be our chosen one in the matter of Britas. More than another, but we'll wake and see. The whole poor's riches of our hundreds and manhoods and wormhoods. 2 cents, 2 mills, and 2 maids. And it's all those rangers you'll be facing in the box before the 12th correctional, like one-man gel between all the Mrs. Mount Saxville in their half-moon hemicycles, gasping to giddies to die for the shame. Just hold hard till the one we leapt out gets her hearing. Hired in cameras extra, with her honour sir pack on the binge. So yelp your guilt and gets the buck, you'll have loss of fame. From Wimmingam's fake. Forwards one bully's sound growing the guff and the twinger read out by the Nazi priors. You fought as how they never walks it up. Did you cricket? It will be wrecker your heirs that it will. When halves the court to exchequer, 'tis the child which gives the sire away. Good for you, Richmond Rovers, scrum around outside. Let him have another between the spindlers. A grand game, Darleymont's decisive. Don Gouverneur Buckley's in the Tower Tribune, sporting the insides of a Ruttian General, and little Miss Excara Scissors is bribing the half-prices to pray for her widower in his gravest embezzlement. You on her, hosey jigsy, that'll be some non-stop merriment. You and your stolen mace and anvil, Magnus and her burrowed in Birkness, Turkis Clauses, Fummy Cummel with a granny Navield, playing down the slavey touch, much as she was when the fancy cut her out collecting milestones espied her as he saw on the fern. So Nimmy said, a dat of dew, between Fairy Bend and Fairy Bree, in this dear Wicklow which he loafed, the smiling ever. If you pulls me over, pay me priss. A tailor would adapt his caulk and trudges unto any shape at sea. Address deceitful, of wovens weird. The wonder of the women of the world together, Moya, and the lovablest Liama since Ineen McCormick, Macoot Macon, O Puckins McCundred. Only but she is a little with wide a gut. Be moving a bog, you cannot make a limousine lady out of a Hillman minx. Listen till you hear the mud-quirt accent. This is a bulgin' horses. This is woolen indulgences. This is the Flemish. Tick, scapulars. Beads and a stump of a candle. Hubert was a hunter. Chemers de la Croix and Rosarette's egg, all the trimmings off the tree that she picked up after the Clontarf voter loosed when O'Brien Macbruiser bet Norris Knobnut be cracking his cocoa nut between his knees. Thump, here innkeeper, it's the Dotarines, Wednesday morn dolphin drigging, Grusham's on the gang and the real Hibernian string strong, a knocker, holy and mass all told. You ought to tack a dose of fruit, jigsaws. You're getting hoovier, 12-stone hoovier, full on the 12-stone hoovia in your corpus entis, and it scarves you right, demny. And as English arms they make but Nictia you bound not to lose gone, or neffen since she clapped her charmer on him at Gormagarin. At the gunting, munting, hunting, punting, the Eichiner blood there are for frecklesome, fresh chicky, sweet-worded lip squeezer, and he shows how he'll pick him up the lock of her fancy. Pog, pog, pog. And a good jump Powell. Clean over all the heads. We would kiss him for that one, couldn't we, Huggins? Sparks is the footer to Handstuff Nancy's scald-head pursue, before you bunkle-doodle down upon your birchen top again after them 3 blows some time, drink and hurry, and the same 3 that nursed you scary bad pools. And the grey one, all of your own club too, with a fistful of babies, worth for the masses for to feed you, living and dying. Buy bran biscuits, and you'll never say dog. And be in the finest of fen, the kin of all friends, deaf to the winds, when for creeny fished, and it's not now saying how we are where, who softing what rushes, merry virgin for bed, but of they never eat soul fried, they're eating it now, with Easter greeting Angus, the key-keeper of the keys of the 7 doors of the Dreamadory, in the house of the household of Hechric. Say saith, Whitmore, what more? Give it over, give it up, Bagraw. Head of a halo, chest of champnon, eye of a gull, what do you heed? The groom is in the greenhouse, gatling out his gun. That lad's the style for. Lanigan's ball now would drive on the navel, the shall burn shock, never mind your gibbous. Slip on your rope and collar and draw the noose bag on your head. Nobody will know or heed you, posthumous. If you skip round Schley Martin by the back and come front slew mutton, to beg in one of the shaver sailor suits 3 climbs, 3 cricket 3s in the garb of 9. We'll split to see you, Moldem impervious, a wing for older boy, Wells you wanderer, well spat, witty wagtail, now peon to Bishop's Forth. Move there's mumblesome wadding merch cranking up to the hornamunium. Drog is out, Ivy Eve in the Hall of Alum. The finities of poetry, wet music, feeling the jitters. You'll be as tight as trivet when the nut's nutted on. Now's your never, Peony and Queener are duetting a giggle for giggle, and the bride Alana is lost in her diamond waiting. What a magnificent jester you will show us this gallows day. Clean and easy be the hooker, and the free for croaks after. Dovlin are out for it, so is Rathfin, and high here's the hearse, and 4 who will wager, but she'll Shawnee boy be the flesh lump, fleeter, from post up again, and all the bars subconscious inklings shadowed on soul skin. Insect yours, the strake of a hidden nup, laying the cloth to 4 of them, and thanking the fish in core of them, to pass the grace for God's sake. Amen, Mr. Justinian Matthews and Mr. Justinian Marks and Mr. Justinian Look to Look and Mr. Justinian Johnson, but the escort see behind. Help, help, hooray, all sup, 4 ghouls to ne'er cut it down, mates, look slippy, they've got a dice. with a swimming pool dang, ding, dong, dung, didin. Isn't it great he is swaying above us for his good and ours? Fly your balloons, Dannies and Dennises. His doorknob's dead. And Annie Delap is free. Once more we could ate you, pa buckers, and imbibe through you reassurance in the wild lack of godliness. One fledge, one brood, till home comes everybody. Her the throwman, her the trader, her the true. Our sure he's the monarch of our land over Stenstead. Howard his name, but thunder hunder. And seen it wooden up in fuse fire's essence on the flush market, BRCRLL. Royloy of the Rollivish artillery, the looning blue bolt, Daluk Truck Al Traum conductor. The unnamed non-Irish blooder that became a greenest lender overnight, but were molten superstitutes out of his full-throated guts. Tried Mark Easterlings, Sign Soderick O'Connor, Rick's Adverse Ord, MacNamorcan Coven Howe. There's a great conversion, Min Cucus, find his corpus. From Moulton Metzalum, through Bully and Cowley and Diggory Dock, down to Brazeness usual. He's a light there still by Mike. Loose a four-bung, bring forth your deed, bang, till this is the right time, bang. Packed with thistle again, St. Megan converses Bristol Palace. Augusta Walsall, putch Timor. Moritis, tis buddy, the plague will be soon over. Rats, let's sin, gay taunt. All we want is to get peace for possession. We didn't understand why you sastered about 13 to Olufen. So kindly repeat, O lenders alone, of your long gorge pass and a fire propounder of our elder viced. Idle warts, shore and sheer, or lawning obscene, so hurgle up grandfather and gurgle me gurk. You can't impose on fray shooters like Oz. Every tub here spucks his own fat, hang coercion every how, and smother Graham's laws. But where a dripping hue Gaelic, all at once, in the beginning is the void, in the muddle is the sound dance, and thereafter you're in the unbewised again, Wund Volus or Volsey. You talk Dunsker brogue men, we our souls, speech obstruct toastery, silence in thought, speech, where an art full of outer no sense. Pawpaw wow, mummery 12 snow brewed. That was a good one, half so it'll be quite a material what may farther be involved. For you almighty when it's ape to foul, a Delphian in the Marnung, aha. Talk of Paddy Barks, echo, kick knock the castle, muckin you'll know is it, oh you'll know is it, without warning from we don't know the sender to whom, but you'll find chicken chuggers. Taking the treacly shortcake with bugle in the bitch, Persa drawsing, and horse Myers procession tightening up under the trees. Stop, press stop, to press stop, all to press stop, and be the seam talking, whereabouts hose and tansies that sure is. Celebrated word, bing bong, sac saluta, for congestures or salders, pray snap it up in the loose, patchy the blank, anyone can see you're the son of a gunnel. Fellow him up to Carlo. Woes to the worm-quashed eye and water the winner. Think of Arian's wall and fall to the toss. Give him another 4 to volley holy doodlum. His light's not all out yet, the liver-poosser. Boo-hoo-hoo it was. With 7 whores, always in the home of his think king things. His laudel dome of his noiseless sorts, 2 Idas, 2 Evas, 2 Nessies, and Ruby Juby Fook, no wonder pipes as girls. And he sings like a Rheinbock. One bed night he had at Elysium's, that they were all mobbing himself. You'll be the best of us. Papa Kudu, Sam yeah, brother. This sword face, we've all putting our road. What he was the after wild fall we couldn't be none of you cock I see. The trick that with the hair 40 cancer, let me look behind her. You might do with nobody means. But of all your waning, some is out your puppy get tails and nothing such a bad luck. The why is well for those in them, but when literally one is proper lovely. Bink. You sincerely trust that this is the Achilles of scooped Gordon has not. Bink. To the very least, tittles deranged. If it bunk. And you greases the auger for your megas. And bank, bank, bunk. And swoop in with all sorts of ad ceteras. It's our last fight, gigantic fear you will. The refugees took for hailing behind the pass. There goes the black watchwoman, all in white flaxed up brigade. Right to Armitage. Tem for Tam at Timothy Hall. They're being carried away beyond the bourns and bowers, so we will leave it to Cleo Donnelly. Pick up Heim and 3 musketeers. At the end of this age of Harrison variants, Katie Sherratt that Harris from variants, Katie Sherratt, man for the Bonifaces with black, white, and blush red of the aquasant for lifty patrol. To wind up into clouds of all befalls after that, you mock at the majesty in the Marin-Claude mansion. So you were saying, boys, anyhow he what? So anyhow belongs to Mumpos of the Houston Commons. After that, to wind up that long to be chronicled get-together, thanks be to Giving Day at Glenfinnis in Laval, the anniversary of his fenced homey communion. After that same barbecue bean fest was all over poor old hospital corner egg factor. King Roderick O'Connor, the paramount chief polymarch, and last pre-elected King of Ireland, who was anything you say yourself between 50 odd and 57 years of age. At the time after the so-called Last Supper he greatly gave in his umbrageous house of the 100 bottles with the radio beamer tower and its hangers, chimneys and equilines, or at least he wasn't actually the hen, the then last King of all Ireland for the time being, for the jolly good reason that he was still such as he was the eminent King of all Ireland himself, after the last preeminent King of all Ireland, the whilom jokey old top that went before him in the Tayahoin dynasty, King Arthur Mockbarrow, Cockenough, of the leathered legions, now of parts unknown. God guard his generous comic songbooks too. That put a poached fowl in the poor man's pot before he took to his palliasse, with the weeping eczema for better and worse, until he went under the grass growth on us. Nevertheless, the year the sugar was scarce, and we to lather and shave and swizzle him, like a bald surgeon boy, and himself down to 3 cows. That was the meat and drink and dogs. And washing to him 'tis a good cause, you have to remember it.
Going through summer sultrings of snow and sleet, with the widow Nolan's goats and the brown girl's leaks anyhow. Wait till I tell you what did he do, poor old Roderick O'Connor Wicks, the auspicious waterproof monarch of all Ireland, when he found himself all alone by himself in his grand old hand-me-down pile after all of them had all gone off with themselves to their castles of mud as best they could on footback owing to the leak of the McCarthy air, in extended order a tree's length from the longest way out, down a switch-backward slither of the Lansdowne route of Owen Bernie's liveliest vantage on the brain, the unimportant Pathalonians with the mouldy Furbolgs and the Twaver de Dinan Boogs and the Ramblers from Clane, and all the rest of the nut-muchers that he did not care the royal spit out of his ostensible mouth about. Well, what do you think he did, sir, but say, he just went heel-tapping through these wine-stuffed and weaselly popcorks at your knee deep round his own right royal round, walloping Topher's table with his old Roderick Randall hat at a Lancy Leary cant on him, and Mike Brady's shirt and Green's linen collar brow, and his dentist's gaunts and his Buffalo swash and his ready-made Rileys, and his hands pressed to Korean poncho, the body you pity him, the way of the world is, poor he, the heart of Mid-Leinster, and the superman lord of them all, overwhelmed as he was with black ruin like a sponge out of water, allocutioning in bel cantos to his own Olivian society, McKinney's dreams of Egg and Adams, and swimming through all to himself in diverse tongues through his old tears and his old plays drawl, starkened by the most regal of belches, like a Blarney Cashel crooner that lurking Clare, the blackbird's ballad, I've a terrible lot to do, too terrible a day. Well, what did he go and do at all, his most exuberant majesty King Roderick O'Connor, but our betterment? He finalized by lowering his woolly throat with the wonderful midnight thirst was on him, as keen as mustard. He could not tell what he did ail, that bothered he was from head to tail, and wish, leave it, that what the Irish boys can do if he didn't go. Sliggy MacLure will rear me round and suck up sure enough, like a Trojan in some particular cases, with the assistance of his renovated tongue. Whatever surplus what could sorrow much was left by the lazy louses of malt knights and beer churls in the different bottoms of the various different replenished drinking utensils left there behind on the premises by that old hogs-headed Firkin family. The departed honourable home-goers and other sly grogging surbanites, such as it was, fall about to the brandishing of his charmed life. As toastified by his cheery-up condescences, no matter whether it was Chateau bottled Guinnesses or Phoenix Brewery Stout, it was, or John Jameson and Sons and Rube Coca-Cola, or, for the matter of that, O'Connell's famous old Dublin ale that he wanted like hell more than halibut oil or Jesuit's tea, as a fallback of several different quantities and qualities amounting in all to, I should say, considerably more than the better part of a gill or naggin of imperial dry and liquid measure, till welcome be from us here till the rising of the morn, till that hen of Cavan shows her beak on egg, and chapel well Swendow stain, our hoary hoster cold, and Father MacMichael stamps, for H. Old Clark Mess, and the Latvian newsletter is seen, sold and delivered, and all set for restart after the silence, like his ancestors to this day after him, that the blazings
of their old mouldy gods may attend to them, we pray. Over opposites the Cowrie lad in the corner, and forenenst the stargaze of the Catharin candled, that adornment of his album and folk and father of family hands, he came across a crupper sort of estate, on a commendation, and the very boxed in all his compass. Whereuponst be home the four for cove and trawlers heave hone, leave lone, Larry's on the foxer and foul, McHugh O'Baller at the wheel, want to do and want to dare, par by par, peerless bear, over here and over there with his foal, the deal, the doe, on the floor of his feet and the fields of the fumes in the wakes of his ears, a wineman from Barley home he just slumped to throne. So sailed the stout ship, Nancy Hands, from Liff away, for Nattenland, as who has come returns. Farewell, farewell, good bark, goodbye. Now follow we out by Starlow